Hello viewers, welcome to UN College Digital class. In today's class, I am going to discuss about inheritance in C++. Inheritance is one of the very important feature in object-oriented programming. We will discuss about inheritance, what is the benefit of using inheritance, about different types of inheritance, etc. Let's start. Inheritance is one of the feature which is a very important feature of object oriented programming. It allows us to create a new class which is called as derived class from an existing class which is called as base class. It is the capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class. Okay. Inheritance is one of the most important feature of object oriented programming. Actually, it is a relationship. Okay, it is a relationship. What is the meaning of this? Inheritance is an easy relationship. We use inheritance only if an easy relationship is present between two classes. Okay, there are some examples here. A car is a vehicle, orange is a fruit, a surgeon is a doctor, a dog is an animal. Here I want to show you the relationship in between two classes, and when there is a relationship we can implement inheritance. Okay, and in inheritance some terms are used. Those are child class, parent class. Now we will discuss what is the meaning of child class. Okay, a class that inherits another class as child class, also it is called as derived class or subclass. Actually, when you are writing a program, suppose you are writing a class, okay, no problem, but if you want that there is a class and you want a new class which must contain all the properties of the existing class and also some extra feature, okay, at that time you will implement inheritance, and in that case the new class is called as child class and the previous class is called as parent class. Okay, the class that is being inherited by other class is known as parent class, super class or base class. Okay, now I am going to discuss about the advantage of inheritance. The main advantages of inheritance are code reusability and readability. When child class inherits the properties and functionality of parent class, we need not to write the same code again in the child class. Okay, this makes it easier to reuse the code, makes us write the less code and code becomes much more readable. This is the advantage of using inheritance. Okay, when you will write a very large program which will contain number of classes, at that time inheritance is very useful. Now we will discuss in detail about derived class, the syntax of derived class. We know that what is the meaning of derived class, which is inherited from the existing class, is called as child class or derived class. Okay, and this is the derived class syntax or declaring the syntax of derived class. What is that? Class, derived class name, you may use any name, then visibility mode, then base class name, then opening brace and closing brace, and inside the block you will write the body of the derived class. We will discuss what is the meaning of visibility mode. Okay, here exactly we are using two classes, one is derived and another one is base, and one extra point, that is visibility mode. What is the meaning of this? The derived and base can be related as privately or publicly or protectedly, and that is called as visibility mode. Now we will discuss what is the difference in between three different types of visibility mode. When the base class is privately inherited by the derived class, public members of the base class becomes the private members of the derived class. Therefore, the public members of the base class are not accessible by the objects of derived class, only by the member function of the derived class. Actually, it is a little bit complicated, but I will show you in detail one by one diagrammatically so that you will be very clear. In C++, default mode of visibility is private. Okay, the private members of the base class are never inherited. Here I have represented in a diagrammatic way of different types of visibility mode. You can see here, if the visibility mode is public, okay, it means that if the derived class and the private class are related public, then the public member will be treated as public, protected member will be treated as protected, private member will be treated as private of the base class. Okay, but if the derived class is related as protected way, then the public member of the base class will be protected. The protected member of the base class will be treated as protected, and the private member of the base class will be treated as private in the derived class. Similarly, if the visibility mode is private, then in that case the public member of the base class is not accessible in the derived class. It means hidden. Similarly, the protected also the same case, not accessible. Private member is also the same case, not accessible. Here again I am going to explain the visibility mode by using different diagram. Okay, if the visibility mode is public, then you can see here that I have used two classes. One is class base and another one is class derived. Okay, and in the base class I have used three different types of data member. One is public, and the next one is protected, and the last one is private. If the visibility mode is public, then base class public member, which is int A, will be treated as public member in the derived class. The protected member int B of the base class will be treated as the protected member in the derived class, and the private member of base class, which is int C, is inaccessible in the derived class. Okay, now I am going to show you the different visibility mode, which is private. If the visibility mode is private, then base class public member, which is int A, will be treated as private member in the derived class. The base class int B, which is protected, will be treated as private member in the derived class, and the private member of class base, which is int C, will be treated as inaccessible in the derived class. Okay, now it is about the protected visibility mode. If the visibility mode is protected, then base class public member will be protected in the derived class. Base class protected member is protected also in the derived class, and the base class private member is inaccessible in the derived class. It means that we can conclude that in any cases of visibility mode, that may be private, that may be public, that may be protected, the private member of the base class is always inaccessible in the derived class. Okay, we have already discussed what is the meaning of inheritance, what is the meaning of base class, derived class, etc. And also we have discussed what is the syntax of declaring one derived class, okay, and what are the different types of visibility mode, which are private, protected and public. Now I am going to discuss about types of inheritance. Actually there are number of different types of inheritance. We will discuss one by one. C++ supports 5 different types of inheritance. What are those? Those are, first one is single inheritance, next one is multiple inheritance, then the next one is hierarchical inheritance, then multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance, etc. Okay, we will discuss one by one. First of all, we will discuss about single inheritance. In case of single inheritance, a class is allowed to inherit from only one class. It means that one subclass is inherited by one base class only. Or we may simplify it is that in case of single inheritance, only two classes are present, and one is parent class and another one is child class. Here you can see the diagrammatic representation of single inheritance. In this diagram it is clearly visible that only two classes are present. One is base class, one is derived class. Here I have represented one class as class A and another class is class B. Class A is the base class, class B is the derived class. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about multiple inheritance. Actually, in case of multiple inheritance, what happens? A class can inherit from more than one classes. It means that here one child class may have multiple parents. Okay. Here you can see in the diagrammatic representation of multiple inheritance, three classes are present. You may use more number of classes also. The classes here, base classes are class B and class C, and the derived class is class A. You can see here it clearly visible in the slide. Then I am going to discuss about multi-level inheritance. In this type of inheritance, what happens? A derived class is created from another derived class. It meaning is that here you can see it in a diagram that class C is the base class, then class B is also a base class, but it is the derived class of class C. Okay. Then class A is the derived class of class B. It means that we can say that class C is the parent, no problem. Class B is the intermediate base class. Okay. Then class A. And in this way multi-level inheritance executed or implemented. Now I am going to discuss about hierarchical inheritance. In this type of inheritance, what happens? More than one subclass is inherited from a single base class. That is, more than one derived class is created from a single base class. You can see here in this diagram that class A is the base class, then class B and class C are the children or the child classes. Then from class B again we are inheriting two other base child classes, those are class D and class E. Then from class C we are inheriting more number of child classes, those are class F and class G. In this way we can implement hierarchical inheritance. Then I am going to discuss about hybrid or virtual inheritance. It is very powerful one. Hybrid inheritance is implemented by combining more than one type of inheritance. For example, combining multiple and multi-level, or combining hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance. You can see here in this diagram one example of hybrid inheritance. You can see that class A, class B, class C, then all these are the parent classes, class D is the child class, then from class D again class E, class F, class G are inherited. Here if we will divide the diagram into two different blocks, okay, suppose I will take class A, class B, class C and class D structure only, then this is multiple inheritance. Why? Because here class A, class B, class C are the parent and class D is the child. But if I will take only class D, class E, class F, class G, then this structure is hierarchical. It means that here we have combined more than one different types of inheritance. Actually, in some particular cases of hybrid inheritance, some ambiguity may arise, and it is called as multipath inheritance also. Now I am going to discuss about the definition of multipath inheritance. A derived class with two base classes, and these two base classes have one common base class, is called as multipath inheritance. An ambiguity may arise in this type of inheritance. Okay. Here you can see that this is one representation or example of multipath inheritance. Class A is the parent, then class B and class C are the child classes. Okay. Then from class B and class C again we are inheriting another class, that is class T. It means that here class D is inheriting the properties of class B and also inheriting the properties of class C. It means that it is inheriting the properties of class A twice. How? Through class B it is inheriting the properties of class A. Similarly, through class C again it is inheriting the properties of class A. In this way ambiguity may arise. I hope you have got some basic idea about inheritance, different types of inheritance. In the coming classes, when I will discuss about runtime polymorphism, at that time I will explain about virtual inheritance, which is a particular case of hybrid inheritance. Okay, now I am going to discuss about single inheritance. We know that in single inheritance there are only two classes, one is base and another one is derived. Now I will explain the single inheritance by giving one example. Let's start. In this example, has include IOStream, then using namespace std, then class A, okay, and class A is the base class, then public, then a constructor. I have used one default constructor here. Inside the constructor only I have displayed a simple message, that is cout constructor of A, then closing brace and closing brace of class A. Then class B public A, here you can see that the visibility mode is public, okay. Then public B, here I am using another constructor of class B. Then in the constructor of class B, which is derived class, I have only displayed one message, that is cout constructor of B, then closing brace of constructor and closing brace of class B. Then the main method int main, inside the main function, now I am going to create the object of class B, obj, then return 0. That's all, simply that's all. When you will run this program or execute this program, you will get output as constructor of A, then constructor of B. How? Because when you will create the object, it will first execute the class A constructor and then it will execute class B constructor. When we are creating the object of a derived class, it contains all the properties of its own along with the properties of base class. So here the base class constructor will be executed and then the derived class constructor will be executed. Okay. Actually, in the coming class also I will discuss more program on constructor in inheritance, okay, because it is having lots of feature, lots of principles, all those. Here again I am going to explain one example of single inheritance so that you will be clear. Has include IOStream using namespace std, then class A. Class A is the base class. Inside class A, I have declared one, I have used one int x or x variable of int type in the public part. Then void input x is the member function of class A. Then inside the void input x, I have inputted the value to x. Okay. Then I have used class B, which is a derived class of class A, and here the visibility mode is public, and you know, and already we have discussed about what is the meaning of visibility mode in inheritance. Okay. Then inside class B, which is derived class, I have used int y. Then in the public part, I have used one member function, that is void input y. Then I have inputted value into the data member of derived class, that is y. Then I have used another member function, that is void sum. Inside sum, I have just added x with y. X is the data member of class A and y is the data member of class B. As we have implemented inheritance and the visibility mode is public here and x is a public data member, so we can use x directly here. Okay. Then in the main method, what we have done, B obj. Obj is the object of class B, which is the derived class. Then obj dot input x. Input x is the member function of base class, and as we have implemented inheritance, so we can call base class member function with the object reference of derived class. Then obj dot input y. Input y is the its own data, own member function. Then obj dot sum. So here suppose we have inputted 5 as x value and we have inputted 10 as y value, then obj dot sum will be displayed, output will be 15. Okay, in this way the single inheritance is implemented. I hope you have got some clear concept on inheritance, what is the meaning of visibility mode, what are the advantages of using inheritance, the syntax of declaring derived class, etc. Also, you may have clear concept on the different types of inheritance, and in this class I have discussed about single inheritance with example. But still, if you have any doubt, then please write to me in the comment box so that I can clear your doubt. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.